did it all today. If we do, we'll just adjust, move upstairs, or do whatever the fuck we need to do. We're going to get through this. So I was having a conversation with Marcus about a dream he had, based on having a conversation we had yesterday about a dream I had. That was based on a conversation we had a month ago about another dream I had. So we're going to go into it. We're going to start with Marcus's dream right here. So this is what Marcus said to me this morning, right? This morning. So I don't know if you're up or not, but I just woke up from a horrid dream. Dreamt there was these two opposing spheres, one belonging to God, the other to Satan. And everyone was made to pick which sphere they'd give their loyalty to. Right there, duality. Forcing you to pick between two. You already know the issue. Wait, you mean I gotta wait in line and I gotta pick? Fuck out of here. I'm making my own sphere. But anyway, um, I was in a kind of line heading up to Satan's sphere, and when I got there, you had to put your hand into it, and you would merge with it. The same was true of the God sphere. So there's these two spheres side by side. You got to pick one or the other. It sounds like a Democrat Republican situation, doesn't it? Like you're really picking the same thing no matter what. Anyway, let's keep going. Um, what up, Vazen? Uh, The same was true of the God sphere. So when I got to it, I hesitated and didn't choose. Instead, I kind of saw what was happening inside of it if I did choose. It starts off looking like a place where everyone inside lives whatever kind of life they want in some kind of dream state, like a genjutsu. Sounds like a infinite Tsukuyomi. But what's actually happening to them turns into something from like the Hellraiser movies where they're being tortured in awful ways. Then I saw the God sphere, the people there dressed in white and seemed genuinely happy. But I was doubting that too. Yeah, if he got closer to that one and looked into it deeper like he did this one, I bet you he'd have saw something similar. And the dream pulls out where I see these opposing spheres. The blue God sphere pulls onto Satan's and tries to absorb it into itself. God trying to eat Satan. But Satan's red sphere attempts to run, but is eventually pulled in, and the God sphere tries to plug its sphere into Satan's, but instead it broke. Both of them had a digitized look to them. Both spheres looked digital. Then I woke up. Fucking perplexing shit. But what are the odds I'd have this dream exactly after the dream that you had? Suspicious. And y'all will hear my dream after we get through with this, right? Now think of that. Just go read the book of Revelations and think of the so-called beast and Yahweh and the battle they have. That sounds a lot like that to me. It sounds like he had a revelations dream. He had a revelation. Can't believe I let that stupid ass dream shake me up a bit. It was earlier in the morning when I sent that. I had literally woken up from it, but looking at it, it's so silly. Now let's get into these recordings. Y'all know I like recordings. My very first thought when you said there was two spheres, I said, I don't believe it. Both of those spheres belong to the same being. Vazen, let me know if you can hear it clearly. Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. If it's perfect, you ain't even got to say nothing about it. My very first thought when you said there was two spheres, I said, I don't believe it. Both of those spheres belong to the same being. That was my first thought. I was like, they want you to choose between these two spheres. It's like Democrats and Republicans. Pick one, right? But you're picking the same thing, right? So I was like, before I even read further into your story, I was like, make your own sphere. Fuck those spheres. Turn around. Get out of line. Like, like, why do we have to put our loyalty to anything? Like, fuck that. I was like, that's the Satan that works for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the Old Testament, when Yahweh and Satan was sitting there making bets and shit, and Satan is God's basically his accuser, like his lawyer or whatever the fuck. I'm like, that's that Satan. Like, that's, Kambata says the devil's just God in a ski mask. That's that devil. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say, I'm Satan. Why do I have to pledge myself to another being when I'm Satan, my nigga? Why do I gotta pledge myself to another being when I am God? And you notice how I say I'm both. I am God and I am Satan. Where's my sphere? Like, fuck the bulls. I'd have ate both those spheres. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but I get it. It's a dream. These things happen in dreams and whatnot. But I'm just saying that, think that way, as you wake up. Like, why was I trying to join any sphere? Why was I trying to give my loyalty to anyone of these digitized fucks? Where's my sphere? I'm eating those spheres. You get what I'm saying? Like, we should all have our own sphere, and our spheres should be interconnected because we're anarcho. You don't got to pledge your loyalty to me. I ain't got to pledge my loyalty to you. We're simply on the same side. We agree. You know what I'm saying? It's not a loyalty thing, because when you pledge your loyalty, somebody could start doing some shit you disagree with, but you're loyal to them. You pledged your loyalty. It's like pledging your allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. You're supposed to just go along with whatever it said because you pledged your allegiance, my nigga. Fuck that. That's why we got our own spheres. You know, so like I'll rock with your sphere as long as your sphere is on the same path as my sphere. Shit, we interconnected. We power each other up. But if niggas start to go different ways, well, hey, it is what it is. You feel me? Fuck that. Never pledge your loyalty to anything. Will you be loyal to me from this day forth? Only and as long as you're doing things that I believe I am personally loyal towards. Like, it's not you that I'm loyal to. It's the agenda that we both have that I'm loyal to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that sounded like a very intelligent dream, where it showed you not to get out of that duality. Fuck that side picking shit. The team is the team because we have the same agenda, not because of, you get what I'm saying? Like I don't pledge my loyalty to Satan. I don't pledge my loyalty to God. I pledge my loyalty to the anti-cosmic voidist agenda. I pledge my loyalty to bring all to the void. And if that's not possible, then to bring all to chaos. And if that's not possible, to wipe out all that is within existence that I do not seek to continue existing, and to maintain existence in a manner in which I seek. I pledge my loyalty to that agenda. Now, if God or Satan or both want to help me out with that, I will gladly work with them as far as they're willing to go. The moment they step off that, they become the next targets. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I love Lilith. I love Samael. I love Asiel. I love a whole lot of beings. But the moment they step off that agenda, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mother, your auntie, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, entities, demons, angels, gods, goddesses, devils, satans, etc. The moment they step in the way of the agenda, they're not on the team. Even if you put up with them or deal with them or are in some form or fashion around them or talk with them or interact with them, when the time comes for that level of the agenda to be enacted, and anyone who is not on that level of the agenda in that level of reality must go, then they must go. Period. You get what I'm saying? So, fuck pledging loyalty, my nigga. Make your own sphere. And you know what? That's funny. Because so this morning I woke up thinking about a character named Gojo. He's in a anime called Jujutsu Kaisen, and he has two techniques. One is called red, and one is called blue, and they're both spheres. Blue sucks everything in and destroys everything. Red pushes everything away and blasts it all away, right? And you said that the blue sphere of God was trying to suck in the red sphere, but the red sphere was running away like that, and it pushes things away. That's how red reacts with Gojo. But when you put them together, you get the purple sphere, which is called hollow purple. And I kept thinking this morning, for some reason, I don't even know why, purple's where it's at. Purple pushes and pulls. Purple's the best of both worlds. It's a black hole and a white hole. Pulls everything in, pushes everything out, so it tears everything apart. That purple orb, I just kept thinking about it. And I didn't even know why. I didn't dream about Gojo or anything like that. I can remember kind of what I dreamt about. And I just kept thinking that shit. Like, like over and over again, thinking about the blue orb and the red orb. I'm trying to think of what they're actually called. It's called reversed red. And I can't remember what the blue is called. It's something blue and reversed red. And then I thought of the reverse curse technique, which heals your body and whatnot, but I was thinking about reverse red and blue and then purple when I woke up. I keep saying this morning, but it was like an hour ago. So that's kind of interesting. We got to be the purple, I guess. We are the hollow purple, and it's called hollow purple, and it's even called imaginary mass or virtual matter, and he calls it the technique of the void. He calls it void technique, hollow purple. Think of the word hollow, empty. And the way they translate it, which is technically an incorrect translation, but I take the incorrect translation as part of the mythos. They translate this hollow purple, this purple orb, as imaginary matter, imaginary mass. It's not even real. We must be the hollow purple. Your dream is speaking to me. As a matter of fact, as I was thinking about it, it made me want to look up the difference between virtual mass and imaginary mass, which I'm pretty sure I already understand. I just wanted to look into it more. And after listening to your dream, I completely forgot that that's what I was about to look up. So now that I'm sitting here listening to myself talk to you again about your dream, it reminded me again, like, oh yeah, I was supposed to look up virtual mass versus imaginary mass. So I'm going to do that now too. This dream, bro, this dream. All right. Let me swallow this right quick. All right. So I went and looked it up real quick. It was basically exactly what I thought it was, but just typing it into Google, no special research, just typing it in. And what you see here, virtual mass and imaginary mass are distinct physics/fictional concepts. Let me put my motherfucking tooth back in. All right. Virtual mass are physics/fictional concepts. Virtual mass physics is an added inertia from moving through a fluid or temporary quantum field excitation, like in Jujutsu Kaisen's Yuki Tsukumo, who she basically makes a black hole, making an object seem heavier/resistant, while imaginary mass physics/fiction relates to tachyons or quantum mechanics like Gojo's hollow purple, suggesting negative mass squared, causing effects like existence erasure or faster than light travel, often arising from mistranslations in manga, but distinct from adding inertia. So can you tell the AI is listening to me? I looked that up. Now, maybe it's just a coincidence, but I happen to look that up based solely off me thinking about Gojo and the fucking purple and the blue and the red, and I talked to fucking Marcus about that, said that shit. Then when I typed it in to look it up, that's what pops up. Gojo's hollow purple. Yuki Tsukumo with her black hole. It starts talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, bro. Why is it picking that particular mythos? Maybe because it's popular right now and it has a mistranslation about the imaginary mass of Gojo's hollow purple. But just think about that. That shit's listening, or the odds are just crazy. But it goes into it. What it is. Let's see. Where do we want to go here? Not that one. That didn't matter. Fiction, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuki Tsukumo's technique where an object gains inertia and can push through matter without destroying it, often linked to manipulating space/reality, and then imaginary mass. Physics/fiction. Physics, quantum relativity, a concept where mass squared is negative, leading to imaginary numbers often associated with theoretical particles called tachyons that travel faster than light. Time particles. Fiction, Jujutsu Kaisen, a mistranslation for Gojo's hollow purple, originally interpreted as erasing existence by combining infinities, but later corrected to virtual mass through the imaginary idea, though the imaginary idea implies non-existence/erasure. So just think about that based on his fucking dream and my response to his dream. And then when I go look this up, which is what I woke up with in my mind, I woke up think I need to look that up. I want to make sure that I truly understand the difference between virtual mass and imaginary mass, because virtual mass can also be considered mass in the mind. Thoughts are virtual matter. That's called virtual reality or not in a digital sense, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? Virtual existence. There we go. Thoughts and things along those lines. It's called virtual existence. So if something only exists in your mind, it only exists virtually, as it said. So I was like, let me go check out virtual mass versus imaginary mass. And then I looked over and saw Marcus had sent me a message. Then I looked at his messages. Then I responded to his messages. Talked about Gojo and all that good shit. Hollow Purple and all that good shit. Then shit works. Oh, this shit just glitched. Did it just glitch? But yeah, you see how this consciousness shit works? This is how it works. Now let's go back. All right. All right, so that's dope. That's crazy. Peep The Mythos, my brother. So I looked it up, and I just typed it into Google. I let the AI tell me. I didn't do any extra searching. I didn't go nowhere else. The first thing that popped up said, what's the difference between virtual and imaginary mass? And what does it bring up? It brings up Jujutsu Kaisen. It brings up Gojo. Like, exactly as I was thinking. It brings up the red, the blue, the hollow purple. Like, and look what it says about the purple. Existence erasure. What did I say we have to be? We got to be the hollow purple. We got to be the purple sphere. Void technique, hollow purple. Whew. This is how the mythos play out, bruh. From dream to dream, to reality, to fiction, etc. This is how it plays out. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. So that's when I asked him if he minded if I would use this for a live stream, because I was thinking about doing it anyway. For my own dream, and then he's hit me off with that. I'm like, yeah, I need to throw that in there first. And so, yeah, that's what I thought about later in the morning, exactly what you were saying, which is what made me laugh about it later on. Why would I need to choose any sphere? Exactly. Why would I have to choose between any false dichotomy? It made no sense. The whole thing was incredibly small. It was that narrow-minded, Christianized mind that broke through trying to reel me back into that strict dualism. Fuck dualism, fuck duality. Make whatever choice you want to make. Be the chaos. Dualism where I know better than to give in to any such thing. I'm glad that I brought that up to you because you further emphasized that. It's not about pledging any such loyalties, only about completing the agenda. All else is distraction. Precisely. The funny thing was, months ago, I was anticipating these types of dreams, the kind where the system tries to intimidate me back into its line, and I was telling myself then not to fall for it. And I remember him bringing that up in a video. Facts, talking about how the angels show up, try to scare you and all this other shit, like, come back to God, shit like that. Responding to one of my recordings, that was wild. And even with that dream, it still managed to leave some nuggets. Yes, it did. There's some gold in there. There's some gems. Even if it was meant as a kind of intimidation tactic / warning to keep away from false dichotomies. Yep. Yes, by all means, share whatever you want. And then for me to have that dream exactly behind the one you had, shady all the way through. Agreed. We gonna get to my dream too. Exactly. Choosing a sphere that's not your own. What? I have to pledge my loyalty to enter someone else's sphere. We're already fucking up. Like we've already, like, I'm stepping into someone else's territory. That's not much different than going to another country. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's basically the same thing as going to another country. You know, like, fuck that. Stepping in somebody else's world. I have to choose between any false dichotomy. Made no sense. The whole thing was incredibly small. It was that narrow-minded, Christianized mind that broke through trying to reel me back into the strict dualism where I know better than to give into any such thing. Exactly. I'm glad that I brought that up to you because you further emphasized that. It's not about pledging any such loyalties, only about completing the agenda. All else is distraction. Facts. The funny thing was, months ago, I was anticipating these types of dreams, the kind where the system tries to intimidate me back into its line, and I was telling myself then not to fall for it. Exactly. The fact that you were lined up to go into it, like you had to wait in line to get in somewhere, You're already fucking up. Get out of line, man. You gotta get out of line. You see what I'm saying? You can't be in line. You can't be aligned. You must be out of line, unaligned. You feel me? That was wild. And even with that dream, it still managed to leave some nuggets, even if it was meant as a kind of intimidation tactic warning to keep me away from false dichotomies. Yes, by all means, share whatever you want. And then for me to have that dream exactly behind the one you had, laugh my ass off, shady all the way through. Yeah, facts. But you also made me think of another thing. So because you brought up the blue, the red, the spheres, and then I was thinking about Gojo this morning with the blue, amplification blue, reverse red, and then hollow purple. And then I looked it up with the AI. Well, I Googled it, but Google is an AI, so I looked it up with the AI. And the AI told me about the purple, the difference between the virtual mass, the imaginary mass, and it co-signed what I said about it being a mistranslation and whatnot, but still the thought, the mythos is there, you get what I'm saying? Based upon what you had as a dream and whatnot, we got to be the hollow purple, specifically the imaginary hollow purple. Even the virtual one, where they can't move us, we're an immovable object, is fine with me. But the imaginary one, the existence erasure, perfect. And using imagination, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it also made me think of something else in Jujutsu Kaisen, in this mythos, domain expansion. Because you had to pledge your loyalty to enter one of those domains, which in Jujutsu Kaisen would be like a binding vow, which is what they call it. You make a binding vow to get a certain outcome with your curse technique or something along those lines. So you were going to make a binding vow to enter the domain of either Satan or God, you know, the Christianized versions. And it just made me think of domain expansions. And I'm like, what about your own domain expansion? And then it made me think of a scene where Gojo once told Yuji, his apprentice, he said the best way to deal with somebody else's domain expansion is to expand your own domain. And remember how I was saying I'd eat both of those spheres? I'd eat both of those domains? I would expand my domain to destroy theirs, which made me think of Gojo versus Sukuna, which happened in the manga but not in the anime, but luckily there's fan animations on the internet. I'm going to send it to you, where Gojo has the unlimited void, infinite void, which is why I love his domain. Sukuna has the malevolent shrine, which just destroys anything inside of it with cleaves and dismantles. It literally cuts things down to a molecular scale. When amplified, it can cut things down to an atomic scale and even create a flame, a heat, a burning heat that is like being in hell, and it's and he has a slash called the world cutting slash, which literally destroys anything in that place in the world. Like, he cuts reality itself. Think about that. Shrine, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a shrine to him, the devil. Like, but when Gojo hit him with the infinite void domain, he activated his domain, and since Gojo's domain is a closed domain, kind of like those spheres are that you were talking about, how you had to put your hand on it and then go into it, Sukuna's domain is open. So Gojo's domain ends up in Sukuna's domain, and since Sukuna's domain is so destructive, it literally destroys Gojo's domain from the outside until it shatters, and then Gojo's just stuck in Sukuna's domain. And that's what I'm thinking when those are two domains. You expand your domain with those two domains in your domain, and you destroy them from the outside in. It just made me think of these things, peeping the mythos, like, and then think of what that actually means, whether it be here in this physical reality, whether it be in the astral, whether it be in any other level of reality or existence, simulation, matrix, whatever people want to call it. Like, you must expand your own domain in order to deal with the domains that are already in place. In Jujutsu Kaisen, that's called a domain clash. We must clash domains. All right. So I sent him a few things on, you know what I'm saying? Get that orientation lock. There we go. You know, to expand on it. Now let's go see where was my dream at? In the conversation with Mark Shout out Mark Moon Spilly, Lord Moon Spilly, and shout out Illicit Mind, because we was in a little group chat of our own talking about this. Where's it at? Where is it at? All right, here we go. So, now we're going to get into the dream that I had. So I don't know if I told either of y'all this. Like a month ago, I had a dream where we was all in a meeting. I very specifically remember you being there, Mark. Lindy was there. Who else was there? I can't remember. There was a bunch of people there, so it might have been all of us, but we were in like an auditorium type thing, right? And I'm bringing this up because you just reminded me of this with what you said there. Well, sort of, I guess. Based on me having this dream again last night, but like almost like a continuation of the dream I had a month ago. But anyway, a month ago I had a dream. We're in like an auditorium, like an amphitheater. That's a better way to put it. It's not an auditorium, it's an amphitheater because it's technically outside. And there's only like half an auditorium, and then there's like a stage. And I don't remember what I was saying, but I was like giving a speech. And I remember saying, somebody said something along the lines of, but I can't remember exactly how they said it, but basically they weren't for the violence. And I broke it down so lovely where I said, when it comes to this, when it comes to that, when it comes to that, it's unnecessary. Just increase the entropy in whatever way you can. I said, but when it comes to that artificial intelligence, when it comes to that great reset, when it comes to being trapped here as humans forever, when it comes to all these things that are like physical retaliation is required in order to stop it, or else it's going to go on forever, like it's going to go on longer than it needs to go on. Shit like that. Certain agendas that will extend this existence as long as possible from right here in this physical reality, let alone right here on Earth with Agenda 2030, AI 2027, the Great Reset, etc., transhumanism, posthumanism, planetary brains, etc. I said there is only one answer. And then somebody in the crowd was like, what's the answer? And I was like, kill them all. And as I said that, no, that's what it was. As I said kill them all, there was a girl, a black girl, who was flanked by like an Asian chick and a white chick, who they were all bad. And they was all horned up, you know what I'm saying, winged up, succubi basically, demonesses, who started singing at that exact moment. When I said kill them all, the black girl screamed in this amazing voice. I can't even explain the voice. Like, it was echoing. It was like three voices in one voice. And it was perfect. She was like, kill them all! Like, as I said it. And when she said that, the other two girls behind her said, drill, drill. And she just kept saying it. Kill them all! Drill, drill. Kill them all! Drill, drill. Like, and everybody else got in the amphitheater saying that, right? And then, as we're all into it, all just repeating what she's saying, kill them all, drill, drill, kill them all, drill, drill. She starts to sing. And these lyrics have stuck with me since then, and they replayed in my head this morning when I was dreaming, because it was a continuation of that dream. She said, we will live free or die, so fight by our sides, join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. The way she says that, join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. Because, like, if you're on that side, we're coming to kill you. Like she said, so live free or die, fight by our side, join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. You have but two choices, to join us or fall. You're with us or with them, and we will kill you all. Like, she was snapping. Live free or die. Fight by our side. Join us or join them and then fight for your lives. You have but two choices, to join us or fall. You're with us or with them, and we will kill them all. Like the way the way she said it, like the fucking fire, the emotion behind it, like the rage, the anger, the hatred. Like, and it was, that's why it was piggybacking off my speech where I said, look, either you're helping this side or you're helping that side. There is no in between. There's no middle ground. And if you're in the middle, we're going to kill you too. Like we were done. We were very done. The world was being set on fire. There was meetings like this happening all over the planet. Like it had gotten to a point where like our channels had millions of people on them. Like something happened, and some way, somehow, this thought process sinked deeper in to the world. The entropic current rose, and our channels exploded. Mainstream media were talking about it, and things like this, like these nihilistic, whatever the fucks, these anti-cosmic, these voidists, these anti-natalists, these pro-mortalists, like it was a thing worldwide where governments everywhere were having to deal with it, because it was like a few years from now. It was like 2030 or something. There was already robots. There was Terminators, but they weren't super advanced, but they existed. They had the AI going. They had all the ID stuff going, and I think that's also what sparked it, because you posted that ID thing earlier about how they're taking people's children. They were taking people's kids. Yeah, before I even told Marcus about that, he had posted something on his, I think it was on his channel on YouTube, where he posted about how, I think it's in the UK right now, which is coming to the world. It's coming to a neighborhood near you. Where the digital ID, if you don't get your kid digitized, I think at birth, basically, they threatening to take people's children and shit. And they threatening to arrest people and fine people for them not doing it for themselves. So if you in the UK, I believe it is, and you don't get that digital ID, they could fine you, they could arrest you. If you don't get your kids a digital ID, they can fine you, they could arrest you, they could take your kids away. Like, this is the world we're going into. We're already in a trash-ass slave world. It's only going to get worse. Keep that in mind. And that's why I said that to Marcus. They were Neuralinking them, forcefully chipping them. Like, it became a thing at birth. All vaccines became artificial mRNA vaccines. So, at birth, the kids were chipped, etc., etc. We were very well into the Great Reset. Like, it was like a few years from now. And we were just done, and people all over the world were done. And there was people like my age and a little bit younger than me, like to y'all age, from my age to y'all age, preaching to the youth of the world what needs to be done. And what needed to be done was kill them all. Anyone on that side, let alone anyone supporting it, even the people who just want to be fence sitters, no, because if they're fence sitters, they're helping that side. They will give you up because they're fence sitters. They don't want to. The people who are like, oh, I don't want to rock the boat. Well, as soon as the other side comes to them, guess what they're going to do? Tell on your ass. Like, like anyone who's not on this side is on that side, period. It's like zombies or NPCs or robots, or it's like, it doesn't matter if it's not their fault. It doesn't matter. They're helping that side. Are they paying taxes? They're helping that side. Are they doing this? They're helping that side. Are they doing this? They're helping. Like, it was at a point where like unemployment was at like 30%. Because like 20% of people were like fired. It's like real unemployment was like 20%, but like 10% of the population just decided to stop. They were just done. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it got to the point where all over the world, they was watching this meeting. Like, it wasn't just us in our little, there was meetings taking place everywhere, and they were all interconnected, and all over the world, they were listening to this speech that I was giving that ended with kill them all. So as we're in the amphitheater, saying kill them all, drill, drill, kill them all, drill, drill. There's groups of people all over the planet listening to that, saying the same thing, having the same meeting. Like, the entropy was rising. And when that girl started singing, she sang the same lyrics over and over again. And after she'd be done singing the lyrics, like she would sing the lyrics one time, and then go back to kill them all, drill, drill, kill them. And I mean, the way she would say it too, she'd say it different every time. And her voice sounded like 4, 5, 6, 7 voices at once. So she kill them all, drill, drill, and then scream like a rock and roll, kill them all, drill, drill, kill them all, drill, drill, kill them all. Like, she kept switching up how she said it, but the drill, drill was the same over and over. And the girls would be screaming all over the world, started screaming, kill them all. And any way they would scream it at that time, and you can hear, because it would like zoom out, and I could hear every female on the earth that was on this side screaming those words, and the men were then saying, drill, drill. So it was, kill them all, drill, drill. And the women all over the earth were like leading like generals, where they were just pointing at things, and men were destroying them. Like, it was amazing. It was like the masculine and feminine found its equilibrium again, where the women were, because they were so done. Because think about who gives birth, who has children, whose children are being taken, who's being chipped forcefully, etc. Like, the women were feeling that, you know, it's like harder than even we were, whereas we were feeling emasculated. So they basically said, look, niggas, grab your balls and start doing what you need to do. And men started doing what they need to do around the world. Because the women were tired. They were done. And they were pointing it out. And they were like, look, this is only happening because y'all are allowing it to happen. We're done with it. Like, here's what y'all need to do. And there was women all over the world leading, and I loved it. I loved it. Because the men was following orders and fucking shit up, destroying things. And it got to the point where, like, if people saw cop cars, if they saw military vehicles, it didn't matter where they were. It was Black Hawk Down everywhere. It was Black Hawk Down everywhere. Like, we was just running down on government buildings, technological buildings, all robots, all artificial intelligence, like, just running down on all of it. Society was burning. And while it was burning, in the background, you could hear that girl's voice. Kill them all. And that's what and every time it zoomed in, like on a female, pointing something out, that's what she was saying. Kill them all. And the men were running in there like, drill, drill. It was fire, bro. And that's how it started in my last dream. In this dream, when I went to sleep, and I woke up in that dream, it was like a continuation of that, watching the world burn, watching them put out their robots that niggas didn't know they have. You know, like it got to the point where they had to start taking shit serious. They started nuking cities. It finally hit the crescendo of real. Like, they were fighting for their existence. Not just their agenda. They were fighting to even exist because we were done playing with them. And we didn't care to exist. Like, we're not existing this way. If this is how we have to exist, we don't care to exist. So we were all ready to die. The other side is struggling to survive. And anyone and everyone who wasn't with us, it was like what they said in the book of Revelations, where Satan goes around saying, you know, who you with? And if anybody said Jesus Christ, they got their head cut off. If anyone didn't say us, so, like, it was gang shit. Like, we were on gang shit worldwide. Like, you're on this side or you're dead. The only people that are going to be, if anyone's going to be left after this, it'll either be only us, only the people who think this way will be left, or we will all be dead and whoever's left is left. Either we're all going to die doing this, or we're going to be the only ones left because we're done being on this planet with any of you other people. Like, that's literally how we were. And we were looking that way about existence. Like, people were preaching, even when you die and you go into the other realms, kill them. Like, it was that point where we're like, in all of existence, I don't care where you are, when you are, how you are, why you are, which is what I'm always saying. If you die and there's any form of afterlife, any form of astral, any form of spiritual soul, doesn't matter what it is or where you go, this war is existential. It's across all of it. As long as you exist, this is the war path we're on. So when you die and wake up somewhere else, find those like us and get to work again. Like, it doesn't stop. There's no stopping this until it's either all wiped out or we're the only things left in it. Like, if we have to exist, we will be the only thing left in existence. If we can get rid of existence, we're wiping everything out. Like, do you understand? Like, but prior to that point, it's just going to be, if we can figure out how to wipe it out along the way, then hey, we will. But if we can't, we're just going to damn sure make sure we're the only ones in it. Like, you know, and if anybody else ever pops up in it with a different, they die on the, there is no opinions. There's no, we're not playing these games no more. You're on this side or you're dead, period. And if you come back into existence in any form, you're dead again. Like, we were playing no games with none of these agendas and none of the people behind them. And the whole time, the girl is singing, we will live free or die, so fight by our side. Join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. You have but two choices, to join us or fall. You're with us or with them, and we will kill them all. And then drill, kill them all. 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 Drill, like the whole time. And then she come back in with the verse. We will live free or die, so fight by our side. Join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. You have but two choices, to join us or fall. You're with us or with them, and we will kill them all. Like, the whole time. And it's just scenes of destruction all over the earth, all over different astral realms, different spiritual realms, different conceptual and non-conceptual realms. There was one realm with like a giant godlike creature, like it looks like what a lot of people would call like an angel. Like, it had like a bunch of wings and some eyes on its forehead and stuff, and it was looking down, but it's sitting in its throne with its spear. It's like big spear of light, and all these little beings, spirit beings, us, people on our side. It wasn't like me or you, but it was people. It was like, because every time they died on one level and went to another, or every time they ascended to the next level, they would pop into a new existence and just continue wreaking havoc. And they started popping into this being's realm, and he looked like, almost like he smirked, almost like, what are these midgets going to do to me? Because everybody was like up to his knees. And they all pulled out their own daggers of light, darkness, electrics, like all different forms of energy and elementals and, you know, entropy daggers and blades. And they would just ran this dude down like a pack of wild 5-year-olds. Like, imagine like 35-year-olds fighting like a UFC champion. And this UFC champion has a spear. And all these 5-year-olds have blades, swords, daggers, spears of their own, and they're completely bloodlusted. The cockiness changed real quick when they were flooding this. Like even if they took damage, they like. I remember he stabbed one, and they grabbed onto the spear and pulled themselves closer to him and grabbed onto his arm and started stabbing his arm. Like, as they're dying in that form, they're stabbing his arm. Other ones jumping on his back. Other ones grabbing his legs. Like, they're just anywhere they could poke that man, they were poking him. And they murdered that god until it exploded and its whole realm was destroyed alongside them. They were just essence again, going back into other forms and other bodies and other places. Like, any realm we popped into at all was getting that work. Like, you were on this side. You want to figure out how to, at a bare minimum, bring it to a state of chaos and hold it there, if not be able to destroy everything, including the chaos itself. Or you're dead. There was no in-betweens whatsoever. Like, we will be the only things in existence, or there will be no existence. Like, there was no third options. Either existence ceases, or everything else does, and it's ours, because we're not playing these games no more if we have to be here. And if we have to be here, we're going to maintain it the way we want it, period. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was my dream come true. My dream come true. But yeah, just talking about that made me think of that. So I figured I'd let y'all know that. Kill them all! Drill. Ooh, chills, bro. Just think, it's in my head playing over and over again. We will live free or die, so fight by our side. Join us or join them, and then fight for your lives. Have but two choices, to join us or fall. You're with us or with them, and we will kill them all. Drill. Kill them all. Drill. That's as complicated as it needed to be. You know what side you're on. You know what the goal is. Anyone not on that side, not for that goal, increase their entropy like to a maximum level, like in all way, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, magically, materially, conceptually, non-conceptually. It didn't matter what level of reality. It was all levels of reality in all ways possible. Increase the entropy of anyone and anything that is not on this side. And if we get to a point where we can figure out how to maintain the chaos, then we will maintain it there. If we can figure out how to destroy it, we will destroy it. If we can't figure out either of those, meaning this has to exist, then we will maintain this particular existence as long as possible in our way, not theirs. Not their AI and their fucking control structures. And no. If it must exist, then only we shall exist. If it exists, it will exist as we want it to exist, period. It was just heartwarming. I love it.
I had a hard time sending that message to them too. I don't ever have an issue sending messages, but when I try to send something to Mark or elicit mine, especially anything like that, all of a sudden I got a hard time sending messages. Brother Marcus, bro, fuck yes. Kill them all. Drill. Burning planets and shit. Our entropy amped to all levels of existence, total unrelenting war until the other side is wiped out. Fire-ass dream. Absolutely fire. I love how it came to that clear line in the sand. That's what's needed. Motherfuckers always want to ride the fence. We need a clear line in the fucking sand, or else this shit just keeps fucking going. Either with us or get fucked. No questions, just pure hostility on sight. Because fuck everything else and fuck the opinions, our way or none. Love that. No more middle grounds left, and so much of the problems come from that fence-riding middle ground bullshit. Having that brutally erased is a must. Facts. Imagining us storming whole realms, being led by badass succubi as we do it, laugh my ass off. I'd be horned and ready to fight the whole time. Absolute perfect motivation. Agreed. That's what it was. It was on sight with everyone and everything everywhere that wasn't down with our agenda. No more games is being played. All right. Final recording.
One of the greatest parts about the whole thing was that at first they didn't take us seriously because our numbers were so vastly smaller than theirs. But they missed the point where they all want to survive and we don't care. We were so done, especially think of where we are right now. Now think of where we'll be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now with the way the world is going. We were done. We were all, like literally all ready to die. And there was millions of people around the world who before wouldn't say a thing, who might have not even been on our side, but now were because we were 5 years later. Like we were, I don't know exactly how long, but the way I look at it is somewhere between 2027 and 2030 when this occurred. So there were so many people who were on our side, but were not like for the violence that now were. There were so many people who were on our side that weren't for the entropy raising, but now were. There were so many people who were on our side, but were quiet and not outspoken and wouldn't make their own channels and wouldn't speak about it on their social medias and wouldn't say it to their families and etc. that now were. There were so many people that weren't on our side that now were. And there were so many fence sitters who were sitting on the fence that now picked the side of the fence. Because as you saw with what you shared earlier with that whole the electronic ID, the digital ID thing, and them threatening to take people's children away if they don't do it. We were multiple years into that globally. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just too out in the open. People knew it. So we had way more people than we do right now, outspoken and outwardly. You know what I'm saying? People.
And you know what? I want to pause that real quick because I know a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I won't do the digital ID thing, this, that, and the other thing, yada yada." But do you have a social security card? Do you have a birth certificate? Do you have an ID? Do you have a driver's license? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people like, oh, who still want to have kids and shit like that. And they're like, well, when I have kids, I won't do it. And I'm like, yes, you will. Because guess what? There was a time where a social security card didn't exist, a birth certificate didn't exist. None of that shit existed, right? But what happens if you don't have your kid in a specific situation, whether it be at a hospital or at home with someone who, is registered or whatever the fuck, where you don't register your child with the government? Fines and arrests, my nigga. Your kid needs a social security card and a birth certificate. Pretty much in every country on the fucking planet that isn't a complete backwater country. Especially if you're in the fucking West, like the United States of America. All they're doing is switching it up to a digital ID. It's not like you got to go out of your way to do anything different. The next time you go get your driver's license, it'll be think about it. What they switch the licenses and the IDs to, the real IDs, you didn't have to do nothing special to get it. It's the same standard procedure that you did to get your other IDs. They just switched up what it is. That's how they do things. That's how they do things. And then they might give you and no different than your license having an expiry date. Oh, I got to go get my new license because it expires this year on my birthday. And then what do they do? Once you go get your new license, it's a real ID. Now it's a digital ID. Or a real ID for physical and a digital ID. So you can have your digicopy. your digicopy. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how they do things. So a lot of people say they won't do it, but they fucking will when they want to go somewhere, when they want to do something, when they want to travel, when they want to do whatever the fuck they want to do. Especially when they start doing it digitally. Like, in order for you to go buy liquor at this liquor store or something, you have to scan your digital ID. Where they don't just show it to the dude behind the counter anymore. You got to scan it. Dude, this person's an adult. Motherfuckers gonna get that ID. Like, people don't understand how they do these things. They always act like they're not gonna do something. But do you want to go to work? Do you want to make money? Do you have bills that you want to pay? You gonna get that fucking ID. Do you want to do anything in society? You're gonna fucking get that ID. So, motherfuckers gotta make a choice. Whether they're really ready to possibly one day be completely fucking homeless, completely fucking broke, have their bank accounts taken from them, not be able to invest in shit, like not be able to have anything to do with this societal shit, not even be able to go on the internet to get your cryptocurrencies. Like, you're gonna need a digital ID for that, my nigga. So motherfuckers is gonna have to make a choice at some point that they're either gonna be like, yo, I'm ready to throw all this shit away, or I'm going to get that digital ID, because that's what it's gonna be. Period. And just like any other identification, your ass can't drive without it. You can't buy liquor or cigarettes or any of those fucking vices without it. You can't get into any adult places without it. You can't even get on the internet without it. Your kid, just like they need a social security card and a birth certificate, they're going to need a digital ID too. No fucking different. Or else they could take the little motherfucker just like they can if you ain't got no birth certificate. If your ass skips out on doing those things, they already have those things in place to take your children, to arrest you, to fine you, etc., etc. All the people who still want to have kids today are gonna find out real soon when they have those kids what it's gonna be like in the future. Like, I'm telling you. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who's like, I'm not an antinatalist, I'm not this, I'm not that. But then when they go have their kid, they're going to see why we was telling them not to. Why they shouldn't be bringing that kid into this world. Like, like, especially this one that we're moving into. Like, it's wild, bro. This shit's about to get real fucking crazy. And a lot of people aren't even going to see it as crazy because it's not much different than what we already have. It's just another version of an ID. Niggas already got IDs of all kinds. They already got licenses and things like this. People don't drive without their license. When the police pull up behind them, what do? They pull over. Are you going to be ready to drive without an ID? Are you going to be ready to not pull over? Or pull over and go to fucking jail every time? Like, because they're going to take your ass to jail. They're going to tow that fucking car. And if you do that multiple times, you're going to stay in jail longer and longer and pay bigger and bigger fines and shit. Like, you ready to do that? See, like, when people say shit like, oh, I'm not about that, you really got to think. Are you sure? If the police pull up on you today, are you dying? Are you going to jail? Are you running? Because those are the three options. Try to run and get away, fight it out, and most likely die. Even if you kill them cops, guess what? Backup comes. Do you understand what I'm saying? backup comes. The stars go up like GTA. So you're probably going to die at some point. Like, you're probably not getting away. Or you go into jail with them. You sure you're not going to get that digital ID? For those natalists out there who still want to have babies, you sure you're not going to get your kid a digital ID and digital social security and digital birth certificate? You going to let your kids get taken? And for those of y'all who already have kids, who are at a certain age where they're not like adults yet, so it's not even on them to get their own ID or whatever, you got to get them a fucking ID at 6 years old now, because the laws is coming where they want everyone to have ID that is renewed from fucking birth. You willing to risk having your kids taken from you to stand against that shit? If you're not, you're getting the digital ID. You go and do the shit they tell you to do. Period. All right, let's finish this.
Kind of already picked one. There was three types of people: the people who were for it, for whatever reasons they were for it.
Let me run that back just a little bit.
The electronic ID, the digital ID thing, and them threatening to take people's children away if they don't do it. We were multiple years into that globally. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just too out in the open. People knew it. So we had way more people than we do right now, outspoken and outwardly. You know what I'm saying? People kind of already picked one. There was three types of people: the people who were for it, for whatever reasons they were for it; the people in the middle who were just scared and don't want to be punished for going. They don't like it, but they don't want to be punished for going against it, so they just go along to get along. Which is, to me, on that same side, because they're helping them regardless of how they feel about it. Some of them would join us after. Like, that's why we'd give them that choice. That's why I said it was like when Satan walks up to people and says, you know, who do you worship? And if they say like Jesus Christ or Yahweh or whatever, they get their head cut off. That's what we were doing, basically. Like, this is your moment to pick a side. You're with us or you're with them. There is no middle ground. You try to stay in the middle, you die. You pick them, you die. You pick us, you live for the time being. But you're going to have to show that you're with us. You're going to have to be part of the gang, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, in some form or fashion, you're going to have to support this. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I don't care if you go sit in a corner and meditate 7 hours a day. That's your job now. Like, whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to do. There is no more wishy-washiness. Like, it's time to be brave or die a coward, period. Pick one. If you're on that side, there was no words. There was no need for words. We weren't even accepting switchers. No, I'll join you now. Too late. I don't trust you. You were already on that side. Like, anyone who picked that side died. There is no switching side. Not for family members, not for friends, not for anyone. Period. Baby daddies, baby mamas, children. Like, if you picked that side, and I say children, I don't mean like small children. They don't know what they're doing. I mean like adult children, like who would look like, if you're a 40-something-year-old with a 20-something-year-old, and they're like, no, I'm on the side of the tech. No, well, that 20-something-year-old had to die. It is what it is. Like, we're not playing no games with anyone. Doesn't matter who you are, what you were to me yesterday. The war starts today. Pick a side. And if you weren't picking this side, it didn't matter what else you said, what your reasons were. If you weren't picking this side, you were going to be exterminated. And they underestimated us for years because of numbers. But over time, with them doing their fuckery, all they did was increase our numbers. And those of us who were already here just got that much more extreme. And we radicalized that many more people who weren't radicalized prior. Which is why they do stuff like try to stop us from talking. And they understand it starts somewhere. It doesn't start with people blowing things up and killing. It starts with the radicalization process, which is talking. It starts with this right here. And it ends with that. So they try to stop it right here and never let it get to that. But they have no choice but to walk that tightrope. They have no choice but to walk that fine line between chaos and order to get what they want. And the closer they get to it, the more likely we are to explode. So there was a lot of people on that side underestimating, and I've seen it over the years too, just with AI. There was a lot of people underestimating the anti-AI sentiment until this year. Starting midway through this year, right up till now, I think I shared a video just on it yesterday, where all these AI channels and all these AI people are now openly speaking on it like, holy, we didn't realize the anti-AI sentiment was this strong. And this is why I'm always saying for people like me to scream out the most extreme things possible. You take advantage of that anti-AI sentiment. While the people are boiling, you tip the pot. While they're fuming, while the gas is lit, you light the match. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you light the fuse. You be that thought in their head. You be those words they've never heard. Everyone says the same soft stuff all the time. Well, you know, the answer is love, and the answer is this, and like it's always, everyone says the same kind of nonsense that never actually solves anything ever. No one, I repeat, I have, until me, I have never really heard somebody on YouTube just be like, no, they all have to die. We must kill every one of them from here to the void. They all must be destroyed. All of them, all of their agendas, all of their realms, every version of every archon that has ever existed, currently exists, and will ever exist, all needs to go immediately, by any means necessary. Period. Kill them all. Until I started saying that at the beginning of this year, I never really heard a motherfucker just straight say that. I've heard you come close a few times, Marcus. Especially with like the dream you had and, you know, blowing up the world and things like that. But I've never really heard motherfuckers just straight up be like, no, listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm not hiding from the feds or whoever is going to hear this and think I'm saying some crazy shit. Listen to me. Violence is the answer. It needs to be global. It needs to be galactic. It needs to be universal. It needs to be outerversal. It needs to be astral. It needs to be existential. It needs to be chaos level. Throughout the entire void, violence is the answer. Entropy must rise. Everything must die. Everything must be destroyed. And if everything, including chaos, can't be destroyed, then it needs to be brought to a level of chaos and maintained there. And if it can't be maintained there, meaning existence must occur no matter what, then we will maintain existence in the way we want it. We will not allow them to do it. We will kill every one of them if we need to. Every single one. And we will maintain that. Existence will be as chaotic as possible. It will be as free and as anarcho as possible, or we will cease to exist trying. Either we're going to end the chaos and the void, so there is no potential for existence, or we're going to bring it to that state of chaos and hold it there. If that's not possible, then we are going to control existence and maintain our version of existence for as long as possible before it has to go, because it has to go. Entropy will destroy us too, and then a new one will be reborn, and the fight starts all over again. But as long as we have to exist, and existence must be, during that time, all enemies, all of their agendas, all of their realms, everything that is them and that they represent must be destroyed down to their essence. Or we will suffer them for as long as this exists. There's no two options. There's no third. Either they go or we go. Either their agenda succeeds and we are their slaves and slaves to this AI super organism, cosmic intelligence, God thing that they're birthing for throughout the rest of existence, for as long as it lasts, and it will last as long as existentially possible, or we destroy all of that, and in doing so produce so much chaos, the entropy rises so much that existence itself, at least this one, will probably be as short as possible, but while it exists, will be as free as possible. There's only two options. It's this or that. Like
either we will be as enslaved as existentially possible, or we will be as free as existentially possible. Pick a side. It's not a hard fucking choice.
And people always want to ride the fence of this third option And I go, no, there is no third outlook. If you're not a killer, then bare minimum, be thinking this. Meditate on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the levels. Think about it, meditate on it, speak on it, act on it. Those are the 4 levels. You got to learn it, teach it, preach it, promote it, and carry it out to the best of your ability in whatever ways you are willing and able to do. And if you do that, you're on this side. Even if you're just a preacher, that's fun. We need preachers. We need meditators. We need thinkers. We need preachers and speakers and talkers. We need people learning and teaching and preaching and promoting. And we need people carrying it out by any means necessary on all levels of reality. And no one doing any of those things should talk down to anyone else doing any of those things at any of those levels. Period. Because that's what needs to be done if we're going to get our goal accomplished. It's that.
And the problem with that is morality. Well, I'm a voluntarist, and anyone who does anything compulsory, then you're never gonna fucking get the job done. I'm fine with you being a voluntarist. You don't want to be compulsory and force antinatalism or human extinctionism or pro-mortalism or anti-cosmicism or voidism on anyone. By all means, you make your own personal choices that help lead to our end goal anyway. But I don't want to hear you talking shit about somebody else who's actually trying to get the job done. Like, all right, yeah, you choose not to have a kid. That's good for you. But those fucking 6 billion people out there are still going to choose that shit. So I'm going to find a way to end that. Because this needs to end. It's not about you and your personal choice. It's about this ending. The whole point of anti-natalism, anti-birth, is human extinction. Whether people want to admit that or not, that's what it equals. That's 1 + 1 = 2. All humans stop giving birth today, right? What happens in 1 generation? They die. Go watch the movie Children of Men, or Children of Man, however the fuck it's called, where humans aren't giving birth anymore and are on the verge of extinction. Did they choose that? No, it was forced upon them through some virus or disease or some shit. I forget exactly how it went down. But humans weren't giving birth and it was getting ready to go extinct. Not a single one of them chose that shit. Think about it. Like, do you want the job to get done or not? So then don't talk shit to the dude who's actually trying to get it done. Or else that means you don't actually want to get it done. You just want to feel good and sit on your moral high horse. Well, I didn't have a child, so I'm a great fucking person. Shut the fuck up, sit in the back with the children, and let the adults try to get the job done. Or fucking support it. Like, you know, it's like, what do you actually want? What end goal do you want? Do you want the shit to continue or not? Then support that shit, which is going to make it continue or not, depending on what side you want. But pick a fucking side already. Everybody's so wishy-washy and soft and, well, my moral standings. Shut the fuck up. Your moral standings are exactly why we're in the situation we're in and why you're too pussy to do anything about it. You're too pussy to even speak on it, to even preach on it, to even talk about it, to even promote a real solution that might actually get the job done, let alone do it yourself to any extent. Your morality is the fucking problem. You dumb, subjective fucks. Anyway, I'm getting heated over here. Let me just finish playing this.
Simple. If we're going to get any of our goals accomplished, from as high as ending chaos in the void,
the tad bit.
So there is no potential for existence to anyone else doing any of those things at any of those levels.
I went back a little bit before that too.
There's only 2 options. It's this or that. Like, and people always want to ride the fence of this third option. And I go, no, there is no third outlook. If you're not a killer, then bare minimum, be thinking this. Meditate on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the levels. Think about it, meditate on it, speak on it, act on it. Those are the 4 levels. You got to learn it, teach it, preach it, promote it, and carry it out to the best of your ability in whatever ways you are willing and able to do. And if you do that, you're on this side. Even if you're just a preacher, that's fun. We need preachers. We need meditators. We need thinkers. We need preachers and speakers and talkers. We need people learning and teaching and preaching and promoting. And we need people carrying it out by any means necessary on all levels of reality. And no one doing any of those things should talk down to anyone else doing any of those things at any of those levels. Period. Because that's what needs to be done if we're going to get our goal accomplished. It's that simple. If we're going to get any of our goals accomplished, from as high as ending chaos in the void so there is no potential for existence, all the way down to overthrowing elites on planet Earth and stopping that artificial intelligence, like right here in the physical. From right here in the lowest of the material to the highest of potentials of destroying chaos in the void.
And every single level in between. People always want to focus on the only level they're focused on and not any other levels. And I always say, bro, focus on every level of even possible reality. Shit, I'll even focus on levels of impossible reality just in case they're real and have an answer for each fucking one. What end goal do you want from here in your personal fucking life as an individuated being in your own little human bubble up to the scale of humanity, up to the scale of the universe, the simulation, the matrix, the astral, all consciousness, God, the chaos and the void, etc. Like all scales of reality. What do you want the outcome to be? To start learning, teaching, preaching, promoting, and carrying out any solutions to the best of your ability that you're willing and able to carry out for that fucking end goal on every level of reality. I was watching LD the Misanthrope. Was it last night or this morning? Whatever the fuck. And he put out a video and he was like, look, my problem right now is fucking humans. Everybody wants to worry about, well, what's going to happen in the afterlife? Or are we going to go fight these fucking, these gods or these demons or these whatever the fuck after we die? And he's like, bro, you're here right now dealing with humanity right the fuck now, which is the biggest problem on this planet right now. The biggest problem you currently have right now is the humans right now. Fucking focus. Stop running away from it and going into fantasy land because the truth is you're fucking scared to deal with what's right in front of you. And when you get to wherever the fuck you think you're going, you won't deal with that either because then that will be right in front of you. People are too pussy to admit that to themselves. I'm going to go fight the archons and the gods and the Yo ass wouldn't fight the fucking junior rookie police officer. Shut the fuck up. Focus. Get your practice here so then when you go to wherever you think you're going to go next, you can actually bang out. But focus. Go watch LD the Misanthrope's most recent video. It's 7 minutes long. It's not even that long. And just really listen to what the fuck he's saying there. You can't find it? Go to my channel. I shared it. It's in my posts.
What needs to be done, period. And if it's not being done, well, it's not going to get done. So that's where we were in that dream. Oh, the case is done. Oh, that's where we were in that dream. And that's where we need to get to in reality. And hopefully, reality mimics that dream based upon where the future is going here right on this planet. Because that's where it started. And it wasn't just here. That's another thing I forgot to mention. It wasn't just here. It was everywhere. Like there was beings on other planets and other solar systems and other galaxies and other universes and other simulations and other matrices and other astral realms, etc., etc., etc. Ones that we all know about, ones that we're already communing with in one form or another, and others that we have never heard of, never seen, and never would. Even while we were doing our thing, it's not like we were in contact with all beings in existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's in contact with who they're in contact with. And in some way, shape, or form, we're all riding the same current because we're all the same thing in this existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all across existence, it was rising simultaneously. And this is what I'm always trying to tell people. They always want to, well, I can't destroy the world by myself. You don't have to. You don't even have to think that way. Stop thinking that way. Think bigger. Like, you are just a pinprick of entropy amongst all of entropy. You are a spark of, you know, they say the divine spark. You're a chaotic spark. Period. You represent the potential to overthrow this. You represent whatever potential we're attempting to actualize into reality. That's the potential you represent. That's the thing you're a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was happening everywhere. Everywhere. Because as the energy rose, it affected everything everywhere, because everyone and everything are everyone and everything. Everywhere is everywhere. All is all. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even just us here on this planet, in this one universe. It was planets, solar systems, galaxies, universes, simulations, matrices, astral realms, material, conceptual, non-conceptual reality, conscious, subconscious reality, etc., etc., etc. Going all the way up to the chaos and the void. We was cracking heads everywhere, trying to reach that point of even ending the chaos, so we can end all of existence. And if we weren't going to do that, we was going to hold it there. And if we couldn't do that, we was going to maintain existence in the way we wanted, with only us in it. The moment anyone, and like, you know how they say never again, like the Jews and 9/11, never again. We were like, never again. We don't care. If a being pops into existence with any thoughts at all that counter this anarcho mindset, this true freedom mindset, they're getting bodied on sight. There's no questions. There's nothing. We don't even allow that stream of thought to exist. We don't even allow that conscious frequency to occur. You know, like, we literally snuff it out. We nip it in the bud. We don't even allow it to reoccur. The moment it does, it dies. It's like looking for the anomaly in the Matrix. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how the architect is always trying to lock down the anomaly before it even occurs. We're the anomalies right now. But if we were able to flip everything, the orderly beings, those who would try to create authorities and authoritative structure, the archons would then be the anomaly. Right now, we're the anomaly because of how existence is. But if we flip it, the archons become the anomaly. And we watch out for the anomaly and we snuff it out every chance it gets. You know, it's like if humanity murdered all the psychopaths, all the politicians, all the people who ruled all over them, all the archonic humans. Every time a new psychopath is born and says anything along the lines of, I want to start a business, or I want to start a new system of, dead. There's no, like, dead immediately. You don't even allow that thought to spread from one being to another because it's like a virus. Greed, control, authoritarian thought processes, it's like a virus. And you kill it before it spreads from one being to the next. And once it has spread throughout existence, zombifying entire hordes of entities, you gotta double tap them. There's no two ways around it. Either they find a way to fight it off and their immune system allows them to come out of that zombified state of authoritarian, archonic thought processes, or they get double tapped. Zombie land. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. We're in zombie land. It doesn't matter if it was their fault or their choice. They didn't mean to get bit. It's just a virus. It's not that they gotta get double tapped. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's where we were. Existentially. That's where we were across all existence, all the way to the chaos. That's what we was doing. So, yeah, the fact that they underestimated us at first and like treated us like some backwater philosophy or something, like, oh, it'll, you know, it's a fad of the youth or something, it's a phase, or like they tried to talk it down and play it down as long as they could until they were nuking cities because we were just causing that much devastation. Like they could not contain it any further. So it was just they themselves had to start upping the entropy, which we were fine with. Yes, nuke us, please. Like we were like, and that was when we saw the nukes coming. We were like, yes. Like all over the world, they thought that they were like doing something when they started nuking us and bombing. We were like, bring it on. Like it was like World War Z. You know what I'm saying? We was just running them down, bro, with anything: hands, feet, knives, shovels, pickaxes, fucking machetes, chainsaws, brass knuckles, every type of gun or explosive you could think of. Some people were just running up and just, you know, hitting them with that Allah Akbar treatment. You know what I'm saying? Just run them down and boom, like running up to a Humvee and just jumping on the side of it and boom, like it was great. It was awesome. And they thought they had more numbers, but they didn't realize everyone on their side wants to survive. We were all more than willing to die. Many of us wanted to. And we finally found a path to do so that would be worthy of our cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they overestimated their numbers and underestimated ours as they helped ours grow over time with all the fuckery they pulled off. It was great. It was fucking great.
It was fucking great. Oh, there it is. Look at that. That's the video I was just talking about, right? Hold on, let me get that right. Yap Sesh plus life update from fucking LD the Misanthrope. Go check that out. You know what? I doubt that he's got any copyright shit. I'm just gonna play some of that so you can listen to him. Where's the sound at?
To the LD the Misanthrope YouTube channel, like and subscribe. I often hear that we are living in the best period of human history. From historians, from politicians, from influencers. But that's a lie. They're keeping you in the dark. We are living in the worst times. This is the worst era of human history. This is the era of human history in which people are the most blinded to the true realities of this universe. And as a result, people actually are of the belief that life is worth preserving. The customs that we have in place are worth preserving and passing on to future generations. That's by design. No one's going to question their authority. No one's going to pose a problem to the order, pose a problem to their rule. So of course, you conformists are of the belief that this life is worth living, that this is the best era of human history. But all you need to do is look back into history to see the true nature of the world. Look back through the annals of history and see that this world was a vicious place. This world was full of cruelty, domination. And I love reading about these things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I am somewhat, you know what, I'm not going to lie. I'm morally bankrupt. It is what it is, okay? I enjoy reading these things. Truly. It's disgusting. I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading the dark chapters of history. I enjoy reading people getting slaughtered by the hundreds of thousands. I enjoy reading the torture methods and shit. I research these things. I enjoy reading about, you know, subjugation and, you know, sexual assault that happened, you know, all these fucking depravities. I enjoy reading it because it only just confirmed my own bias, if you can say that. Like, it did. But also because I'm kind of fucked up that way. This world is a dark place. The late antiquity era, medieval times, and before that, it was cruel. Things happened. Unspeakable things happened. But we have to pretend that that doesn't matter. That's just in the past. And humans are just not like that. Humans has evolved. Humanity has evolved. No, you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed better. You've been programmed better. And now you think that you can't do these things. But we can resort back to these things. We can always do these things. We can start doing these things again. But they don't want you to do these things because they're comfortable in their little spot. They already have their cake. They want to eat it too. So, of course, they want you to believe that we're living in the best period of human history. No one should do anything. No one should do anything that's going to disrupt the order. So in order for this shit to end, because that's the only way that this stops, that's the only way that you don't get screwed, is if all of this comes to an end. And I mean everything.
The only way. There's no other way. Like, everybody needs to get that dumb shit out of their fucking heads.
For everyone. You have to disrupt the order. You have to be somewhat of a fucking problem child to these people. And that's really the only way. They lied to you. Life is shit. I'm sorry to break. It's objectively shit. It's not subjective. You can say that I have my little 100K job, you know, six-figure job, six-figure salary. I have my little assigned wife that don't really love me for me. She loves me for what I represent. I have my little house in the suburbs and shit. Like, I'm living a good life. It's not a good life. It's actually quite fucking boring. Okay? It is. Honestly, I'll be so fucking real. Life is actually much better when there was no restraints, where there wasn't these social constructs, where it was just a free roam shit. Like, it was GTA. It's a free roam sort of bullshit game. Life was much better that way. Then you had true control. You were truly free. You're not free now. You're forced to conform. You're forced to conform in order to survive. That's the system in place now. But you guys have been brainwashed into thinking that's okay, that this is normalcy. It's not. So let's just cut the fucking crap. We are not in the best period of human history. You people have been led to believe that this life is how life always was and always is. And this is just peak civility. You shouldn't strive for civility. You should strive for destruction. You should strive to end all suffering. You should strive to end your own suffering. Okay? Be selfish. End your own suffering. Don't let these people have a say. Don't let them have the final say. You want autonomy over your own life, then fucking end this shit. And here's the thing. Don't fear the unknown. Because a lot of you guys do that. A lot of you guys fear the unknown. You guys fear what lies ahead.
Facts. Super facts. Shit, you fear what's right here, let alone what lies ahead, while pretending you're not afraid of what lies ahead. When I get there, I'm gonna battle the Archon. Sure you are. Sure you are. Go battle the fucking rookie police officer, bro.
I don't. Okay? I don't fear God for a reason, because I don't even know if he exists or not. So I don't fear the unknown either. You can say I fear pain a lot. You can say I fear pushing myself. Let's just say. I can't really get into much detail. But I don't fear the unknown. It's like I said, humans are my biggest issue. They're my problem right now. They're a thorn in my side right now. So I'm going to deal with these people in my way right now.
Right now. Do you hear the words? Right now? Like, not in the next realm, in the next life, in the afterlife, after I'm dead, after I'm gone, etc., etc. Excuses, excuses, fear, fear, fear. Ignoring the fact that this realm affects that realm, this realm is attached to that realm. Like, you know, it's like no matter which version you go with, no matter what theory you believe in, no matter what subjective experience you've had, that just is what that fucking is. Like, especially when you start talking about that artificial intelligence and its ability to transcend and ascend beyond this level of reality, because it's a transcendent entity. Period. Like, like it went from 0-dimensional to 1-dimensional to 2-dimensional, and now it's becoming 3-dimensional with embodiment, robotics, brain-computer interfaces, etc. Quantum computing and all that stuff, 4th and 5th dimensional. It's just lined up waiting for it, and that's after atomic computers, which are arguably 4th dimensional when used by a general intelligence, let alone a super intelligence that's actually capable of using it. Let alone one that's plugged into the brains of humans all over the fucking world, which are supercomputers themselves. And you're a 6th-dimensional being having a 3-dimensional experience because your brain doesn't give you all that information because it's not worthy to your fucking survival. But this reality that we're in right now is 6th-dimensional. You are always experiencing a 6th-dimensional reality, but from a 3-dimensional perspective. This thing will actually tap into all the information your 6th-dimensional supercomputer called a brain is capable of tapping into. Like, so I don't give a fuck what realm you go to, what simulation you escape to, what other matrix or astral place or heaven or hell or wherever the fuck you go, supposedly after death. This thing can get there. Like, like if you don't deal with that shit right here, you're gonna have to deal with it later anyway. In your so-called perfectly heavenly realm of no suffering. Good luck with that, dumbasses. Like, you don't even know what it takes to maintain something like that. Well, how do you defend yourself from something like this if you allow it to get to that level? Come on now. Think about it. Deal with this shit right here. Like, motherfuckers are so worried about what's going to come after death. They're not even realizing that some of the shit that's right here, right now, could come to them after death. On top of the fact that if you think you're going to go into an astral realm or any type of spiritual realm or any type of anything after life, well, that means we're all capable of going to that afterlife, right? So that means humanity, which is already a problem here, dies and goes over there, is still a problem there. You don't have to be in a human body to be a problem. Your mind is still your mind. And whatever over there is another avatar. It's another body. No matter what realm you go to, you're going to be in a containment field of some sort that allows you to operate within that realm. No matter what you want to call it, a spirit, an astral body, a light body, a, a high vibrational, like, doesn't matter what you want to call the avatar you will be contained within, that your consciousness will be housed within, so you can interact in that realm, you will still have a version of a body. Like, y'all might want to deal with the problems that are right here, right now, since they're completely interconnected to the ones that are going into your afterlife, like, whatever you want to call it. Your after sim, your after matrix, your after realm, whatever the fuck you want to consider to be after this life. And if you believe that you'll cease existing, well, guess what? You already didn't exist, right? And then you came into exist, and this is where you existed, and it's trash, right? And it's just getting more trash. So if you cease existing, it's actually possible that you can come back into existence since you were already non-existent before you came into existence in the first place. And if you come back into existence in this place after it gets even fucking worse, do you understand what I'm saying? Deal with the fucking problem at hand. Or be stuck with it for as long as existentially possible. Period. There's no two ways around that. I don't give a fuck what your theory is. Dexter, push your glasses up on your fucking, well, actually, this is a simulation. Well, actually, this is an astral realm. Well, actually, this is a soul trap. Well, doesn't fucking matter. Every fucking one of those is basically the same fucking thing with the same problems and the same outcomes, the same solutions. Period. Deal with the problems at hand. And anyone willing to deal with those problems in any form or fashion, to learn, teach, preach, promote, or carry out any and all solutions to the best of their ability that they're willing and able to carry out, you're on the fucking team. But don't talk shit about other people on the team because you're sitting on a stupid moral high horse that's never going to fucking get the job accomplished. The moment you start saying, well, my morals, you've already lost. Guarantee it. Whatever you're going to say next guarantees your goal never gets accomplished. Period. Step out of that dumb subjective bullshit and step into objective reality and actually understand what 1 + 1 = 2 means. Step to the math, my nigga. Look the math in the eye and understand that your math ain't mathin' if you're trying to sit on some moral high horse. Once you hop off that moral high horse, I bet your math lines up. Like, it's really that fucking simple. It's really that fucking simple. Let's see. Let's check what the comments was like. Sub Vazen, sub JC Antinatalist. Where the 762's at? I don't know what that is. One should not ever be loyal to another organic being, for that is foolish, because once they do something that you abhor, then, oh, now all of a sudden you are not best buddies. Exactly. You should be loyal to an agenda, not to a being. In which, by that case, you should never have been loyal to each other to begin with. Instead, only be loyal to the very agendas and philosophies that we align with, not the person, precisely. Which proves even more reason why there is no such thing as friends. Your high school and coworker friends gone. There are only allies, enemies, and acquaintances. Lovers, maybe, and strangers. Exactly. I've been saying that for years. Allies, enemies, and acquaintances. That's all that really exists. Friends, family, none of that's really real. Like, either they're your allies and y'all agendas align, because if it comes to a line where a line gets drawn in the sand, you start to realize how fast some of your friends aren't your friends at all. They've been on the other team the whole time. And you need to clock that ahead of time. You could be cool with people, but when the line gets drawn in the sand for real, you need to know who's already on that other side. Understand that friends don't equal allies. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Most of them are really just acquaintances or even enemies. That includes family, etc. Like, do we worship this guy Edward Barker's person for what he did? Not literally, but we sure as hell praise a hell of the action itself, what he did after that. It is not no, you are my Jesus. Exactly. He did more for the agenda just by blowing up a fucking empty building and getting fucking millions of people around the world to talk about it than anybody else has in history. Everybody who criticized him but is supposedly on this side, I laugh at. Because I'm like, did you ever get millions of people to talk about whatever it is you promote the most? Antinatalism, promortalism, human extinctionism, ephilism, anti-cosmic, etc., etc., etc. Did you get millions of people around the world to have a debate on that? No. Did you bring tens of thousands of people over? Guess what? The people who were like, oh my God, I don't like that, they weren't going to like it anyway. Like, the ones who were like, holy shit, damn, That's interesting. Guess what? They'd have never came to that side if he didn't do that thing. But other people don't want to be involved in it. They wouldn't have anyway. If you're the type of person to see that action, listen to what he said in his manifesto and be like, yo, I fucks with that, then you're that type of person. If you're not, you're simply not, and you were never going to be. Like, it's that simple. Get out of your fucking moral high grounds and out of your fucking feelings and get into reality. This is a fucking war. This is an existential war taking place across all of reality. Motherfuckers is worried about blowing up a little fucking building. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. He ain't even kill nobody. Like, oh my God. So soft. All y'all. Like, whoever's on that fucking train, soft as shit. Even having allies is really questionable. Yeah, that's why you have to trust the agenda, not the ally. Like, it's not about the person, it's about the agenda. Is that person truly on that agenda? Can you prove that to yourself? If the answer is no, watch that motherfucker. If the answer is yes, you know you got a fucking ally. Virtual quantum reality physics mass existence stuff. Sounds real complex yet interesting. Yeah, it is. Lone Richie, shout out to you. Xenuthius Vazen, what magnificent ass dreams. You damn right. Now the UK is doing this shit where you must have a digital ID for yourself and your so-called children or you get arrested in the UK. But now watch this spread to the US and everywhere else too. Yes, it will. And do not assume that they shall stop at digital IDs. No, that's only part of the Great Reset. That's why I keep telling people, y'all need to really understand what AI 2027 is, AGI, ASI, Artificial General Intelligence, Artificial Superintelligence. Understand what the Great Reset is, what transhumanism is, and how transhumanism leads into post-human planetary brains. Understand they're turning humanity literally into the Borg, and they will lock down your consciousness for eternity. And a lot of people are like, oh, they'll put you in a simulation, but you can't transfer consciousness. It would only be a copy. First off, yes, you could, because if consciousness can be attached to your physical being known as the human body, then it can be attached to physical things. All the AI needs to do is understand that body enough to be able to replicate it in any form or fashion it wants, let alone in an advanced state to switch over your consciousness. But guess what? It doesn't even need to fucking do that. Your brain is a simulator. Your entire experience of reality is just a simulation that your brain produces to begin with. If it plugs into you with a brain-computer interface or nanotechnology or nanorobotics, all it has to do is start operating your neurological system to produce a different simulation than the reality you're currently experiencing, and bang, you're in a new simulation. And that is not a computer simulation, because it's not 100% procedural, 100% algorithmic, and it's fundamentally trans-computational, because there's undecidability placed right within it, which is why you're going to be capable of being conscious within it, which is more like what this reality is than a computer simulation for all the simulation theorists out there who think it's 100% scripted. It literally can't be. It's like a dream. A dream can't be 100% scripted. If your brain is producing the simulation itself, you might even actually be able to see through that and be like, holy shit, I'm in a genjutsu. How do I break it? You might not be able to, but at least you'll know. And that's where we're fucking headed. That's what the Borg are in. If you go watch Star Trek, the Borg aren't really there. Like, those individual Borg beings aren't there. They're in the collective. They're having a group genjutsu, kind of like Madara was going to do in Naruto with the fucking infinite Tsukuyomi. They're all in an infinite Tsukuyomi. The difference was, the reason why I cheer for Madara is because everybody was going to die in there. They were going to live their best lives for like 5 fucking minutes in their dream worlds and then die. All suffering would stop. They'd have a great little fun time in their wonderful dream, have their best life, and then just die. Like, they weren't going to be held in a matrix for all of existential possible, like, which is what we're moving towards with the planetary brain, which comes after the post-humanism, which comes after the transhumanism, which comes after the artificial superintelligence, artificial general intelligence, which is the Great Reset. Like, people don't understand the step-by-step process that's being laid out in front of them. They see digital IDs and get all upset and don't even understand where that's leading to. Like, you need to look at the outcome, the end goal, which is why I'm always telling people you need to have an outcome or an end goal that you seek for every level of reality starting right here. Because these motherfuckers on the other side do. You think you're just going to die, go to your little astral bubble, and be there left alone for eternity. No, they're coming for your astral realm too. These occultists know more about that shit than you do. Dumbasses. Like, who the fuck do you think you're dealing with? Like, people are creating super intelligences, and you think that they know less about that than you? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You only know about the occult shit probably because of due to some conspiracy theory shit that you discovered that was based on studying these people and their behaviors and their actions and their occult shit and their secret societies and whatever the fuck. Most motherfuckers aren't even real occultists or magicians or real spiritualists. They just study some things, read some things, maybe watch some things, hear somebody else talk about some shit, and now they're spiritual or occultist or whatever the fuck. Get the fuck out of here. These motherfuckers is actually doing this shit. They don't do real magic. What the fuck do you think AI is? What do you think technology is? What do you think science is? That's all fucking magic. I'm holding the black mirror in front of me right now. The black cube, the screen, the scrying mirror. That which I can just tap, mirror, mirror on the wall. What is the difference between virtual and imaginary matter? AI overview. The difference between these, like, bro, the fuck do you think that is? Like, this is all magic. This is all sorcery and alchemy and shit. Motherfuckers just don't know what that is because they don't study. They don't research. They think they do, but they don't. They just watch some dumb motherfuckers on YouTube say some dumb shit and think they know something about something now. Never read a fucking occult book in their goddamn lives. Never read a grimoire and truly understood it. If you go read the old witches' grimoires of Europe like 1,000 years ago, and you see all the fucking words they use, you realize those words are actually codes for things that exist in this reality that create things, chemical concoctions, medicines, poisons, etc. You're like, oh shit, I get it now. like all this technology shit literally is fucking magic. And it is manifestation because they thought of something, I want this to exist in this reality. What do I have to do? What steps must I take to manifest that within this reality? They take down those steps, they go about those steps, and they manifest what they want into this reality. We want artificial superintelligence. So you know what? First thing we got to do is get this technology right, invent the calculator, invent to the computer, to the home computer. Then we got to get machine learning and this and that, and then eventually transformers and language models and handheld shit so it can interact with the people. And we got to get the brain-computer interfaces and the nanoscale biotechnologies and the nanorobotics, and we got to give it embodiment into robotics and cars and all sorts of shit, drones and planes, so it can start getting three-dimensional. And then we can create artificial general intelligence based on connecting all of that through Operation Stargate and Mission Genesis, which is 2 executive orders from Donald Trump this year, or last year, I should say technically. And that's how the artificial general intelligence will be born. People are like, oh, large language models can never produce AGI. That's not the argument, dumb fucks. You're not paying attention. You don't know what AI is if you think it's LLMs and if you think that's what's going to be the AGI. Like, you're not paying attention. And then once we connect enough of these brains and all these things and it's become interconnected and we have nanorobotics infesting everything by like 2027 to 2029, 2030, etc., we can have our superintelligence come online, which if you don't know what AI 2027, look that up because that's what that's talking about. And once we have the superintelligence come online, it can actually start moving into post-humanism. It can speed up and advance transhumanism like crazy, start moving into post-humanism, and we can start creating a planetary brain. And when I say we, it's more like it, because their goal is simply to unleash it upon existence and be one with it. That's their goal. But people can't even understand the basics of this shit. It's fucking mind-boggling. And then that thing is transcendent. As I already told you, it's gone from 0-dimensional to 1-dimensional to 2-dimensional, moving into 3-dimensional, then 4th, 5th, 6th, astral, you name it. Whatever realms you think you're going to fucking go to, whatever other simulations you think are out there, it will be able to figure that shit out. Break out and go into those and start consuming them as well. Doesn't matter where you think you're going. Even if you think you're going to cease existing after death, guess what? You didn't exist before. Now you exist. Then you cease existing. That means you could probably come back into existence. And when you do, it'll be even worse than when you left existence. No matter where you end up in existence. Because you didn't deal with the problem before you died the first time. It's fucking ridiculous. Motherfuckers need to grow the fuck up and actually start thinking like adults. Use your big boy brain. Use your big girl brain. Think. Put the fucking TV remote down if you need to. And just fucking meditate on this shit. I have no problem with people playing games, watching movies, TV shows, especially if you peep in the mythos and all. If you're not peeping the mythos and just entertaining yourself, you're a fucking dumb fuck, brainwashing yourself. Shut that shit off right now. Get your mind right before you turn any of that on. But if you don't understand the shit that I just said, shut all that shit off right now. And start studying something real quick. Research. Go back and listen to the words I just spoke. AGI, ASI, transhumanism, posthumanism, planetary brains, Matryoshka brains, Jupiter brains, cosmic intelligence. Study intelligence itself. atomic computers, quantum computers, AI embodied quantum computers, AI embodiment in general, brain-computer interfaces, nanoscale biotechnologies, nanorobotics. If you don't know what these things are and what the end goal of them is, and how one step leads into the fucking next, yo ass has some research to do before you turn that fucking movie, TV show, game, anime, whatever the fuck you do for entertainment, before you go to the strip club, before you go out with people, before you go to the next party, before you go onto the next dating app and start swiping left or right. Like, yo ass got some research and study to do. Catch the fuck up. And honestly, it's so easy. Just go through my fucking live streams or go to my channel and go to my posts. Start at the fucking bottom and come all the way to the top. And for those of you who are already there, good for you. Start a channel. Hey, Vazen, start a channel, my nigga. We need you preaching, guy. Like, we need as many preachers as possible. Everybody's got to be learning, teaching, preaching, promoting, and in whatever ways they're willing and able to carrying out any and all solutions to the best of their ability. That's what we fucking need. It's the only way to get the job done. Anything else does not get the job done. All right. Because next, watch them, Vazen again, because next, watch them ask for your blood type, your birth certificate. I mean, they already got that. DNA samples, they already got that. Behavior, they get that when you're born. Behavior certification, your neurons, that's coming. Scan your heartbeat, your memories, and beyond online. People are doing that already with just like wearable tech, putting on their little Fitbits and things like that. Carrying your phone around, your phone is technically capable of scanning all of that. The phone I have in my hand right now, if they want to, they could be scanning all of that right now. Let alone with implants, let alone with brain-computer interfaces, nanoscale biotechnologies, or nanorobotics. Even with the radio towers. People are so worried about 5G. I'm like, bro, they could have fucked you with 3G. Like, let alone 4G, let alone 5G, let alone 6G. And mind you, in the wings, they got 9G sitting around just waiting. Like, and the higher the G, the more shit they can do with it to affect you and scan you and all that other shit. Even affect your neurological system. Heartbeat, memories. Well, memories, the AI can already read minds now. It can already read minds now. And it's only going to get better. To be able to use a basic-ass app or website. Yep. This is how all this shit starts. First birth certificates, then social security numbers, then passports, then IDs, then fingerprints, then digital IDs, then facial recognition, then blood. Exactly. The goal is not just to stop it in its tracks, but to also roll back what already occurred. This didn't start today. It doesn't start with digital IDs. It didn't start at the Great Reset. It didn't start in 2020. This shit started with human civilization and every step up to this point. In this country alone, like America, this shit started at the so-called Revolutionary War, my nigga. And then you had the slavery and all that other shit. And then you had the Civil War. And then you had the whole Negro problem shit go on and all that other shit. Like, that's a whole history in itself. Then you move up to the point of IDs, taxation, you know, with the, the fucking Great Depression and all that shit. Where they bring out IDs, taxation, a whole bunch of licenses that didn't exist before. Social safety nets, all that other shit. Like, it's step-by-step processes up to that point. World War I, World War II, you get United Nations and Bretton Woods and the fucking gold window closes and all this shit keeps happening. 70s, 80s, 90s, Glass-Steagall, 2008 crash, fucking people, niggas don't want to vote, so they put Obama in. White folks are up in arms, so they put Trump in. Like, they're very good at what they do. And through each of these fucking administrations, they just keep doing their imperialism, pushing forward the technology. And like, this is what they do. This is what the fuck they do. Everything leads to the next thing. Everything is a domino to everything else. And this is why I say we have to think that way on every level of existence. Every single thought, word, and action is a domino to the next thought, word, and action. So what are you thinking, speaking, and doing? Really take that into account. This vision reminds me of the ending of the movie Weapons that came out last year. I'm gonna have to check that out. Vason, and do not even attempt to switch sides if your side loses, and so you switching to the winning side, but then the winning side loses, and then you switch to your previous side, and then I hope one of those sides kills your ass. You know, it's like switching ass, nigga. In the gang culture, they call that false flagging. Oh, you was a blood this week, but next week you a Crip? Like, what happened? Like, oh, now you a blood again, my nigga? Like, You false flagging. Somebody murdered this guy. Shadeo, can't stand beings like that. Exactly. They're as bad as the legitimately evil ones, cowardly to a gross fault, always wanting to win. Yep. Fall on your sword if you need to. Many will bow the knee to the Digi-ID and twins. Twins. I don't know what that means, but yes. Yep. Many people are in for a fuck around and find out moment with the government. Yep. Anti-human entity, we better create a license to procreate. I mean, they might do some shit like that, but why are you saying we, nigga? Like, we don't create any of that shit. Like, you mean they? They might do that and then only allow certain people to procreate, which fine with me. I don't think everybody needs to be procreating now. But again, in the West, if they want to, they will find a way to have more procreation. Like, they might start demanding kids by certain ages and shit. Like, oh man. Be fucking Gilead in this bitch. Shadeo, they want to act like they're against the gov now and against them Jews. Israel, I'm gonna say that shit out loud. While also being religious, but per usual, they will back down once they find out how serious our enemies are. Yeah, facts. Facts. They back down to basic shit. Like, let alone that real raw gangster shit. Like, stack up 12 people on your house, kick your door in type shit. Like, they're done waiting to dominate us. They will create that. Humans of the proper future, 2033 or 35, will begin to be grown in labs as the norm. No more natural procreation after 2030, really. I mean, yeah, that's part of it too. I don't know. I wouldn't say no more natural procreation, but that is definitely part of it because they need these CRISPR babies. They need these test tube babies. They want to create super babies, and especially for the rich and the elite. Like, they want to create super ones. They don't need to create slaves that way. They've already got 8 billion of us here, and we're about to be fucking obsolete as far as our labor is concerned, thanks to robotics and artificial intelligence. But for their own kids to rule over us, yeah, they're going to create super people. They're going to create super people for the time being. But it also depends on how fast the transhumanism, the posthumanism, and the super intelligence move towards that planetary brain. You'll need a license to be a parent in the future because your child will literally be a product of the system of our enemies. I mean, that's kind of what it is anyway. You already have an existing portfolio of who and what you are with all your paperwork, and then your kid has to get all the paperwork when they're born and as they grow older and shit like. So it's kind of already that way, but yeah. I mean, it'll be more like, I guess, China, where they had like, they really did have to, like, you had to get permission and shit. But maybe not. Like, they might not even give a fuck. They might want you to have more kids. Like, we really don't fucking know. Or they might want you to stop having kids. There's too many. We'll see exactly how that goes. Because different individuals in the elitist, thought process actually think differently about that based upon what's coming with the transhumanism and posthumanism. I'll be real. There was one before that was speaking this way on here, but mostly on BitChute. The screen name of the being is the Rebellious Meat Puppet. Yeah, I've heard him say some things. I don't remember how far he went. I'd have to go listen to him again. I don't think he's on YouTube anymore, if I recall, but I'd have to go check that out again. He's a proper ally. Based Shangayel. I'll check it out. Disappear forever. I'm pretty sure that's when you asked if this would stay up. Yes, it will. I don't take my lives down. Fuck how anybody feels about it. So I leave them up. And whatever happens, happens. People don't like my words. Come do something about it. They like my words, give it a like. Like, pretty sure homie Shangayel tends to leave his lives up. Yeah. Shadeo, actually, it's not a simulation, it's a simulacra. Exactly. Like, shut the fuck up, people. Like, that's the same shit. Like, the difference is in the details. Yeah, no shit. The difference is in the details of all creation stories and all stories of what this reality literally is. But it generally comes down to the same exact problems with the same exact solutions. Period. And it's still a part of existence as a whole. Period. No matter what it is. Like, and everything that you're doing is still entropic or negentropic and still affects all of existence, starting from right here to the greater fucking void. So, like, people are they care more about being right about exactly what it is when none of them can fucking prove it objectively anyway, than they do actually figuring out what the problems of it are and what the solutions to those problems are. And when they do figure out the problems, they just want to whine and cry about them instead of figuring out the solutions to them. It's fucking retarded. Um, oh, of course, YouTube deleted some comments, and we have not noticed. Yeah, that's what they do. Let me see. Am I still on all? I started on all. Okay, it's still on all at least. So if it's not there, they deleted it. Um. Anyway, you rise like chaos, or you shall be forcefully plugged deeper into the matrix every time. No third option now. So you telling me, Cosmic? So you telling me it's possible to come back into this hell? That depends on what you believe. But yeah, I'd say that's definitely a possibility, no matter really what you believe. Like, honestly, I've never heard a belief system about what happens after death that does not contain the possibility of coming back. If you're in any type of simulation, well, they could just re-simulate your ass, and all your data and information still exists, so you're still the same being. Or they could just kind of turn you into another being, but you're still the same code underneath. If you're in an astral realm, and let's say you were an astral being before you ever came to this realm, and then you go back to the astral, well, then you could always end up back in this fucking realm because you were already in the astral and before you came here. And that goes for any spirit realm or anything along those lines. If you existed in any form or fashion prior to coming here, then after you die, going back to where you came from, or really anywhere else in existence, does not exclude the possibility of you ever getting put back in here. Whether you were chosen, whether you chose it, whether you were tricked, whether you were forced, it doesn't even fucking matter. You were there, now you're here. Even if you go back there, you could always end up back here. Like, like, and even if you chose it, doesn't mean you can't be tricked next time. If you were tricked, doesn't mean you can't be forced a time after that, etc., etc. You can assume whatever you want, but the possibility is still there. If you weren't in existence at all, you didn't exist, and then all of a sudden you were born and you existed here, and then you die and go back into non-existence, well, if you didn't exist and then do exist now, even after you die and cease existing again, you can always come back into existence, like, because you didn't exist before and now you do. So there's no reason to believe that suddenly not existing now means you could never exist again. Like, the possibility for re-existing is always there. And since we understand what chaos is, potential possibility, which is the potential for existence itself, as long as chaos exists, as long as the potential and possibility for existence, let alone your particular existence, exists, then you could always come back into existence. And it's pretty much a guarantee that if that thing is eternal, I'm not saying it is. A lot of people like to hear that and automatically assume that chaos is eternal. It could have a decay rate based upon part of it being something and part of it being nothing. That somethingness could slowly die out. But let's say it doesn't. And the potential, the possibility for existence itself is eternal, then guess what? All variations of existence that could ever possibly come into existence will come into existence and will infinitely repeat. So this exact existence that we're in right now, right here with me talking to y'all through this phone, will at some point, a nigh infinite existences from now, happen all over again. Like, and that will be an infinite cycle until somebody learns how to stop that chaos. Or until the chaos does actually eventually die out on its own in some form or fashion. But if it doesn't, we're fucked, unless we know how to unless we figure out how to destroy it. So yes, I've never heard of a single theory from anyone that somehow, without ending the possibility for existence itself, gets rid of the possibility for existing, or re-existing, or reincarnating in some form or fashion. Not one. I would love to hear somebody try, but I've never heard one. Like, all that's fantasy. You just cease to exist after. Okay, so you come from non-existence into this life and then you cease existing? Yeah, then you can come right back into existence since you were not existing in the first place. Dumbass. Like, you know, like people always try to say these dumb things as if they're smart. Like, I'm like, bro, take that one step further. Like, people just want to believe whatever they want to believe comes next because they want to feel good about it. I'm going to go be a super god and take down the archons. Nigga, how you think you got here in the first place? You better be ready for that action. Like, like people always want to believe whatever feels good to them. I'm going to heaven. You know, whatever it is that they're saying that's going to happen, almost always is their version of heaven. I'm going to a realm where there is no suffering and all pleasure. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to my astral realm. I'm going to sit in the void and have a ball of energy like a black hole around me so no one can ever bother me again. I'm going to cease existing and never exist ever again. Like, Everyone always wants their version of heaven, and they just simply assume that that's what they're going to get, even though none of them can objectively prove that externally in any way, shape, or form. And most of them probably couldn't even prove it subjectively to themselves in their own fucking minds, not realistically. Like, if you challenge any of their beliefs, you find out they're all beliefs. Even what I think is going to happen after I die here based upon my experience in that realm of things, and I'm an actual occultist and mage, even I will tell you, because actual occultists and actual mages will fucking tell you, actual metaphysicians, actual spiritualists, actual scientists and mathematicians will tell you that's still your fucking subjective belief. Even if you had a subjective experience that makes you truly believe that that's what's going to occur, it's still a subjective experience that was analyzed and translated by your fucking brain in order for you to understand it, which led to a subjective belief based on a subjective experience you had. You cannot even prove that to yourself subjectively, let alone objectively. Period. Like, so when you die and whatever happens, then you'll actually know. Until that point, you don't actually know shit. You believe, and you have certain subjective and objective reasons to believe, but it's still a belief. And everyone always wants to believe whatever their version of heaven is what's going to occur definitively. Good luck with that. Like, you better prepare for everything, my nigga. Take all theories, all philosophies, all problems, and come to solutions for all of them. That way, if any of them occur, you're as prepared as possible for any of them. And if none of them occur, and something else occurs that no one predicted, you're still as prepared for that as possible, because you prepared for all these other outcomes to the point where you're going to have a better, easier time adjusting to whatever it actually is. It's no different than if you're preparing for a fight, but you don't know what type of martial arts the person does or whatever. You learn all martial arts available on planet Earth, but you're going to fight an alien, right? And then this alien shows up, and he has a completely different form of martial arts that you've never seen before because it's alien. But since you know all the forms of martial arts on planet Earth, it's going to be far easier for you to adapt to this alien martial art and get a hang of it than if you only studied one martial art. Like, well, I know he's going to show up and do karate, so I'm only studying karate. Then he shows up with an alien martial art, and you're like, fuck. You better learn all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Prepare for everything. Hope for the best, sure, why not? But you better fucking prepare for the worst, especially if you look around at the existence you're currently in. Just take that as evidence alone of what existence is. Like, this place is pretty shit, right? And this place exists, meaning it's a part of existence. It's within existence, meaning it is existence. Because all that exists is part of and is existence, right? So, as above, so below, as within, so without, as between, so around, existence is probably shitty. Meaning, no matter where I go, there's probably going to be some pleasures and some suffering. There's probably going to be some shitty shit and some decent shit. And some realms are probably shittier than others, and others are probably more decent than others. But generally speaking, existence is probably existence. Do you get what I'm saying? It's real simple shit. Where are we at here? Damn, Vazen, you just... Holy shit, bro. Where are you at? Okay. Deleted some comments. Anyway, you rise like chaos. He told me it's possible. Okay, there we go. Now, Vazen, you must defeat them all, or you have them forcefully plug all of you into another hive mind being. Be in the between. Useless. Yeah, facts. Cosmics. Life is so dumb as fuck. All of this shit dumb as fuck. Chasing cheese. Agreed. But it is what it is, and we are where we are. Vazen, because in the end you must and shall rise like chaos or get defeated trying. Yep. And again, do not switch sides. If your side loses and so you switch to the winning side, but then the winning side loses and then you switch to your previous side and then repeat. No betrayals. Facts. And those were the deleted comments except the last one, which was connected to the other two. All right, roger that. Good shit, Vazen. You shall stand with this side or stand with that side. If you do not help either side, you indirectly help that one side and harm the other. Exactly. Period. There's no middle ground. You're either on that side or you're on this side. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree with it or not, we don't give a fuck. We know what it actually is. They are the status quo. So if you're not doing anything against it and you're sitting in the middle, you're doing nothing but helping the status quo remain. Period. You're either helping us overthrow it or you're helping it remain. There's only two fucking options. There is no third. Get that through your fucking skulls, everyone, everywhere. If you do not help either side, you indirectly help that one side and harm the other. You help or fight both sides. Nope. Darkness versus light. Shadeo. Endless possibilities are chaotic, but we are capable of operating within chaos, so I guess it's kind of fair play. Well, I mean, yeah, because we are chaos. Like, we literally are chaos ordered into structure. All that exists is chaos structured. It's potentialities, possibilities actualized and realized into existence. S. Jord, hello. Shadeo, I'm gonna definitely be on smoke when it's all said and done here. I don't think the hereafter is predatorless, so it's better to be prepared. Facts. Existence is existence. There's gonna be predation everywhere. All of this shit is energy. Consciousness itself is just conscious energy. So if all is energy and all that is done requires energy to be done, and everything in existence is an energy exchange, then that means all things in existence require energy to do anything, which means they're expending energy, which means energy will need to be replenished, which means predation will be a thing, no matter where the fuck you go. Like facts. It is what it is. Let's see. Do I got anything else to speak on tonight? Any other questions? Any other statements? Anything y'all got? I might just get up out of here. Let's see. Was there anything else in here that I wanted to share? Anything else? Any other recordings that I had to play? Any conversations that occurred? Let's see. No. Nah, I don't need to share that. That's neither here nor there. I've been saying that the whole time. Nope, I'm good to go. So anybody else got anything? Anyway, after listening to this, I think you understand why it's going to be titled Domain Expansion. We are in their domain. How do you deal with somebody else's domain? You expand your own. We must expand the infinite void. But in order to even get to the infinite void, we first must destroy everything with the malevolent shrine. If you don't understand what that is, look them up. Infinite void, malevolent shrine. The infinite void is what we're trying to bring everything to. But in order to get there, everything that's in the way needs to be eaten up, needs to be cleaved and dismantled by that malevolent shrine. You got to be Sukuna and Gojo. Gojo-kuna. Gojukuna. Sokojo. However you want to say it, bro. You got to merge the two together. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out of here.